Okay, we're live.
Mm.
Hello, everybody. We've got a number of people that are going to be watching this recording. So if you have any questions when you watch this recording at a later date, feel free to email them through. But for those participating live, feel free to add your questions on the right-hand side of our YouTube channel, and we'll try and address them at the end. But right now, we'll just hop into the broadcast. Bear with me. I'm just trying to find how to share my screen. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to hand over to Sharon, who's going to talk about the first part of the information session for our Complex Systems Leadership Program, and then hand back to me, and then we'll have a question and answer at the end.
Wonderful. Thanks, Emily. Just click on that one and that will get me through.
Yeah.
Wonderful. So you're here because you're interested in complex systems and a complex systems leadership program. So we thought we'd start off by just having a look at what this idea of complex systems leadership is. And there's a whole lot of theory. We actually cover 4 complex systems leadership theories in Unit 2 of this program. But it's leadership approaches that are based on complexity science. And it's not the kind of leadership that's, you know, the leadership of a person, that hero kind of leadership. It's actually a systems characteristic. And so leadership is considered not to be in a person, but it's all those interactions that happen in a system. And so leadership complex systems leadership theory is as a problem-solving approach. You're not focusing on one way to solve a problem, but you're actually focusing on a framework which helps you know how to tweak a system. And that's what this program is really about. It's actually assisting you with concepts, tools and techniques to help you actually create systems change. And there's 3 units we're going to cover in the program. We're going to start off with Unit 1, and that the focus of that unit is really about you getting an understanding of the characteristics of complex problems, complex wicked problems, so social policy problems, and an understanding of why a complexity approach is required to address them. And in each of these units, you're going to use a tool for systemic change, which is a software tool. And in the first unit, you're actually going to be mapping your solution ecosystem for a problem that you want to take through the program. And so you're going to be mapping all of the organisations and initiatives in your community for addressing the wicked problem that you're focusing on. In Unit 2, it is about that transition of your community to a more coherent way of working for addressing the problem. So the learning objective is for you to understand, to increase your understanding, knowledge and skills to assist your community to strengthen its adaptive dynamics, so how it adapts so that it can make a greater impact on addressing a complex problem. And you're going to be mapping all of the initiatives that you find from Unit 1 to different tweaking points or leverage points that's going to help you create this change. And then in Unit 3, you're going to get an understanding and knowledge and skills to assist governments to support this way of working. And once again, you're going to be using this tool for systemic change, this online tool, to actually help see how governments can assist the work that you're doing on your particular wicked problem. Now, we've got a lot more information about the program, and it's contained within this e-booklet that you might have already had a look at. If you haven't, get onto our website under the program tab, and you'll find this e-booklet, which it goes into more details with regards to each of those units that I just discussed then. Within the program, we've got loads of modes of delivery and modes of learning as we go through each of those units. So there's going to be video lectures where we're going to have presentation slides with regards to a range of lectures for each of the units. We're going to have transcripts of the video lectures. So you're going to have PDFs so that you can do word searches if you're looking for concepts. So you don't have to watch the whole lecture all over again if you're looking for a particular concept from one of the lectures. We're also going to make those video lectures available in podcasts if you're the kind of person who likes to go for a walk with earphones in your ears and listen to things where you're not actually in front of a big screen. You're going to have a glossary with all the terminology for each of the units. There's going to be other videos to help us explain key complexity type concepts, because in Unit 1 we are going to cover a lot of complexity science concepts. There's going to be extra readings so you can see some of this terminology used in practice. There's going to be quizzes so you can practice and look at get an understanding of some of those concepts. Check your understanding of some of the concepts at the end of sections of each of the units. There's going to be exercises for you to carry out. There's going to be discussion posts with regards to different sections, so you're going to have questions posted and you'll be able to put in your responses and share your responses. And as I said, you'll be using our online tool for each of the units. And then we're going to have some monthly on-class discussions as well. So I'm going to pass over to Emily now, who's going to take us through the more tech parts of the course.
Thanks, Sharon. So we've taken a lot of time to choose a learning management system that is deliberately simple and clean. So one of the things you'll notice is that the units are broken down into sections, and each of those sections will contain all the elements that Sharon was talking about: video lectures, the downloadable PDF lecture notes, the glossaries, etc. The login details that we're going to send through for the learning management system will be sent out at the end of March, and I'll talk more about how the course will be delivered and the timeframes for that a little bit later. One of the things I should say is that this intake of students will go into one learning community cohort. So the participants in this intake will be able to interact in those discussions about topics that Sharon was talking about. As Sharon said, one of the key elements to the program is using our online tool for systemic change. So part of your enrolment in the course also provides you with a 12-month license to use the tool for systemic change, where you'll be creating a scorecard based on your learnings through your learnings of the course and applying it inside the tool. So that's where you'll be able to collate all the data of initiatives and the organisations, and then map that against the initiative characteristics that you'll learn about in the course. So as Sharon mentioned, one of the key elements will be the monthly online class discussions. We're going to do them in a similar format to what is happening here. So it's going to be through Google Hangouts, and it will be a live stream event. These will be participant-led. So for those who have done online learning before, these courses are going to be flipped classroom format, meaning that the content will be delivered at self-paced through the online learning management system, and these will be an opportunity for participants to come with questions about content, questions about using the tool, learnings that they've found elsewhere that they want to share, and group discussions about the projects that they're working on with using the tool for systemic change. All of these discussions are going to be recorded. So if you're for our international students that have enrolled in the course, don't worry, these will be recorded if you can't attend. We've got people enrolled from the Netherlands, so one of the things that was important to us is to find a time that was suitable, across the continent. So that's why we've picked 8 o'clock Adelaide time, to be able to have a good time for our friends in Europe. These hangouts are going to be on the first Thursday of every month, like I said, at 8 p.m, which will be around midday European time. Our first online discussion will happen on the 6th of April. And we estimate that we'll spend about an hour. So the units will kick off on, the first one will kick off on the 28th of March. That's when we'll send out the login details for the first unit. The second unit will be sent on the second unit will be made available inside the learning management system on the 30th of May, and unit 3 will be made available on the 25th of July. Oops, I've gone back. Sorry, guys. Like I said, the course will start on the 28th of March, but at your leisure, you can come in and from that date onward and start taking yourself through the material self-paced. And we'll also at the same time send you login details so that you can access Wicked Labs tool for systemic change. I should say that inside the Wicked Labs software tool, there'll be user guides of how to use the system. So you'll be able to, if you're keen to get started with learning how to use the online tool, there'll be little video snippets for you to get started to understand how the software works. I was going to say something else, but it's just left my head. I'm looking at Sharon like she actually knows what I was going to say. And so the last part is the cost and payment. So the course cost is $16.50, which is inclusive of GST for those participants in Australia. A deposit of $500 is required. I think we had our cut-off date for the end of January, but we're happy to, postpone, talk to us about payment if you're unable to make your full payment now or up to the course start date. And registration is very simple. You just go to our website. So like Sharon said, all the information, more information about the course in detail is available on our website at wickedlab.com.au, and that's click programs, and on there you'll find the ebook that Sharon mentioned. You'll also find the registration page down the bottom for kicking off your registration for the course. So now we'll hop in and take